Greetings, in this video I'll be showing you how to complete Millicent's questline. Now, as a word of warning, this is a questline that has to span out through the entire game. So, you first meet her in Caelid near Sellia Town of Sorcery, and then her questline ends right at the Haligtree area, right before Malenia, and the ending includes killing Malenia. And yeah, so first of all, you have to speak with Gowry in his shack, and he will ask you for a favor. He wants to help you heal a young girl called Millicent. You can find Millicent beyond Sellia. She is next to the Church of Plague. Speak to Gowry before Sellia.
Oh, a pleasure to see you. A pleasure indeed. I am Gowry, a great sage. In my day, anyway. I'd hoped to ask a favor when one of your ilk came along. A strapping young tarnished, able to cross the scarlet swamp of Aeonia. Don't fret, I'll provide fine recompense. Should you accept, I will teach you the secret of Sellia, the town you see there. Ah, then you are willing to lend a hand, are you? I need your help to heal a certain young girl. Her name is Millicent. You will find her beyond Sellia, resting at the church atop the cliff, stricken by the rotting sickness.
After that, you'll have to locate Commander O'Neill and defeat him. This is a boss fight found in the deep scarlet Swamp of Aeonia, outside of Sellia's bounds. In return, he will share the secrets of the town of Sellia. In my gameplay, I had already defeated Commander O'Neill, but this is where you find him on the map.
Oh, you found the unalloyed gold needle. As promised, I've detailed the secret of Sellia right here. Go on. It's yours. Now let me have a look at the needle. Well, this is a marvel indeed. The work of a true artisan, a meticulous, bold craftsman who grasps the essence of life. Can you give me some time with this? As well made as it is, it won't be much use snapped in half, will it? The needle is repaired. Now it will forestall the rotting sickness, I'm sure. Will you give it to the girl, Millicent? I will reward you in kind. Millicent rests at the church atop the cliff beyond Sellia, the town yonder, tended to by the witless pests who worship her, or rather her rotting sickness, as a god. A wretched fate, indeed. The poor girl, she never wished for any of this.
If you happen to kill him here, he does not drop anything. I killed him accidentally by rolling with the Armor of Thorns. He turned into a pest. But yeah, I reset the area and he came back. So I don't know if that's intended or not, but be careful not to kill him, just in case. But yeah, I reset the area and he was there.
Do you find it peculiar that I would show such concern for the girl? Well, I'm the one that found her. A mere babe in the Swamp of Aeonia. She is one of my dear daughters. But the rotting sickness erodes one's memory. I doubt that she remembers the first thing about me. Oh, I must be getting old. I didn't always worry so much. Now, all you need to do is deliver the needle to Millicent. She's convalescing in the church. Do so, and you shall receive a handsome recompense.
After you exhaust his dialogue, I guess, you have to travel to Millicent. Millicent is located in the Church of Plague. Now, if you need to solve the puzzle of Sellia Town of Sorcery, I have some sped up footage here on how to do it. So essentially you have to light up 3 towers with fire, and you can only do so by jumping on top of the roofs and then parkouring through the roofs and going up ladders. As you can see here, that's the first ladder, and then travel back and just make sure not to fall off because it's really tricky to get back up. There's the second ladder, and then if you fall off there's a little bit of a shortcut there, but as you can see I fell off again. It's kind of an annoying thing, you know, it's fine, but at least we have this little shortcut right here that I figured out. There's also painting here, it's not very important. After you do that, you can travel up to a set of grace. You can also do a boss fight here that gives you the Lucette sorcerer staff. So if you're a sorcery person, that's the best sorcery staff that you can have. Anyway, go up to this place near the tree thingy. There will be a seed. There will be a site of grace right there, and also a seed. So pick up the seed and sit at the site of grace. Make your way up this hill. There will be a giant ball or a couple of giant balls here. So they're very easy. They're very easy to dodge, but just keep that in mind. I did it without even sprinting on my horse. So anyway, essentially after the big balls, you'll make it to a church called the Church of Plague. Give Millicent the needle here and exhaust her dialogue.
Who's there? Well, it matters not. If you are wise, you will leave immediately. My flesh writhes with scarlet rot. It is a curse, not to be meddled with by man. You ask that I stab myself with the needle to quell the scarlet rot. But how? Never mind. I've decided I would rather trust you than simply continue to spoil from within. Would you mind averting your eyes for a moment? Well, that was easier than expected. But why do I feel so... I hoped to see you again. My apologies for when last we met. I fainted before I could even thank you. Everything is as you said. Since inserting the needle, the scarlet rot has ceased to writhe. Even the nightmares have abated. And now, though I can scarcely believe it myself, I can move as I please. Not that I could ever truly repay you, but I would like you to have this, by way of thanks. A token though it is. I'm considering leaving. On a journey. With the needle buried in my flesh, I've started to recall, but dimly, my destiny. It's all thanks to you. My name is Millicent. I pray fate permits us meet again. I'm considering leaving. With the needle buried in my flesh, I've started to recall my destiny.
After all of that, you'll have to travel back to Gowry. Now, you can do this on horseback, or you can just teleport to the Sellia side of grace. Either one of them works. But yeah, so after this, you'll have to actually reset the area. So essentially, it's better to just sit at a grace and teleport there. You'll see that Gowry is gone, and you'll find Millicent here. Exhaust her dialogue, and proceed with the questline.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit, hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to. Well, never mind that. I must focus on my journey, for which I have you to thank. I must stay strong. Well, I must focus.
After that, you'll have to travel to the Lux Ruins near the Erdtree-Gazing hill. You can find Millicent here.
Ah, we meet again. In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The scarlet rot has stilled since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle. Now I'm tracing the path Malenia took, after unleashing the power of the scarlet rot during her battle with General Radahn in the Caelid wilds. I should like to meet her. This vanished woman. I think she's in the north, in the lands that lie beyond the Erdtree.
After that, you'll be able to travel back to Gowry's
Thank
shack
you
and purchase
kindly
items from him.
for giving the needle to Millicent. Now she too can begin her journey and stare her fate straight in the eye. You've been a saint through and through. As thanks, I vow to impart to you my knowledge of the lost sorceries of the Sellians, descendants of the Eternal. Oh, you noticed, did you? Indeed, Millicent did visit this hovel of a home. It seems the memories eaten away by the rotting sickness yet remain, but faintly. However, she has no need of me anymore. No, she must embark on her journey and stare her fate in the eye. I mustn't impede. As I've aged, I've found the best way to aid the young is to be forgotten.
After exhausting Millicent's dialogue and optionally Gowry's dialogue, you have to travel to the Shaded Castle. Now, if you have the Site of Grace, you can still collect the arm for Millicent here. Even if you've beaten the final boss in this area and you've completed Patch's questline and everything, you can even do this after defeating Malenia. So you can teleport to the Shaded Castle. Alternatively, you can go to the Altus Plateau Site of Grace, which is located right here, and then follow the path that I'm showing you in the gameplay. After you acquire the Valkyrie Prosthesis, you have to travel back to the Erdtree-Gazing hill and give the Prosthesis to Millicent. Exhaust her dialogue.
Now, I'm tracing the path Malenia took. She's passed into the lands that lie Are you giving me this arm? Thank you. I am in your debt yet again. I think, if the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again. If the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me. Perhaps then I can aid you in battle. If the arms, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again. Perhaps then.
After doing all of that, you have to travel to Dominula Windmill Village and defeat the Godskin Apostle. In my gameplay, I had already defeated the Godskin Apostle, so you can just find Millicent here at the Windmill Heights Grace after reloading the area.
We meet yet again. The arm you gave me truly is a thing of wonder. It feels just like my own. Even handling a sword. Perhaps it is foolish to say this to you of all people, but I am sure of my skill with the sword. Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle, should you ever have the need. I would have you call upon me in battle, should it is the only way that I can express my thanks. I would have you call upon me in battle. It is the
After that, you have to acquire both halves of the Haligtree hidden medallion. So the first half can actually be found in the village of the Albinaurics by talking to Albus. It is an NPC that's he's hiding as a pot. Basically just roll towards him and talk to him and he'll give you the half. The other...
Please no, dear me. I haven't a clue. Would you look after this medallion? You must keep it out of the cursemonger's hands.
The other half is found in Castle Sol, in Mountaintops of the Giants. After you defeat Commander Niall, you have to go straight, go up the stairs, and go up the elevator, and you'll find the other half of the medallion. After you beat Lindell and Morgoth, make your way up to the Grand Lift of Rold. After you've acquired both medallions, you can hoist this secret medallion by pressing right on your D-pad if you're on controller, as you can see here on my gameplay. Fight your way through the secret Haligtree passage until you find a site of grace, and ultimately you'll be outside. Just follow the lights until you reach a map location, or some sites of grace. Essentially you have to make it to Ordina. Once you reach Ordina, you'll have to do the Everjail puzzle and interact with the Everjail that's located somewhere in the town. You will be teleported into a different dimension sort of looking place, and you'll have to light up a few towers. I will include the full puzzle in this playthrough. After you've lit up all 4 torches, you'll be able to enter the portal at the top of the stairs near the Everjail, and now you're in Miquella's Haligtree. I'm not gonna do a full walkthrough of the Haligtree area because it's pretty straightforward. Also, it would take forever, but just know until you don't defeat this Loretta, Knight of the Haligtree boss fight, you won't be able to progress. So make it all the way to this point, defeat the boss fight of the area, and then sit at the site of grace. Make your way down the ladder and down the elevator. Before you can encounter Millicent at the prayer room side of grace, you can encounter her here in the Mountaintops of the Giants. You have to go up the normal Grand Lift of Rold after Leyndell and encounter Millicent at the Ancient Snow Valley Ruins. Just go up the lift and keep walking, and you'll eventually find the Ancient Snow Valley Ruins side of grace. You should be able to meet her here.
To think we'd meet in such a place. What could your purpose possibly... No. I know well enough who you are. And what I know is good enough for me. Call upon me again, in battle, should you have the need. I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Haligtree. Indeed, I believe that is where Malenia will be found. The Haligtree is hidden somewhere in these northern lands. I'm searching for a fort. I heard them.
After that, you'll be able to encounter Millicent at the prayer room grace in the Haligtree area.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Malenia's blood, but in what capacity I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot. Whatever the case, though, I am certain of a kinship between us. There is something I must return to Malenia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self that allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot, the pride she abandoned, to meet Radahn.
After that, you have to complete the entire area after the prayer room side of grace. Now, I didn't include the whole playthrough because my recording was acting up a little bit. Essentially, you have to travel through this entire area. Just make sure you explore the whole thing and just keep walking until you find yourself at this bottom area. This area is full of grafted scions. The giant amalgamation of hands and arms, those monsters that are like that. And essentially, you just have to follow the path that I'm following here. This is at the very bottom, okay? It's not on the top of the buildings or on the archways. You basically have to complete that top area and then find yourself around these monsters. There'll be a ladder also around here. Use it and follow the guide. From the Inner Wall side of grace, you'll just have to complete the next section of the game. It's pretty straightforward. So go down the stairs. There will be some blue enemies here that you can take out. Watch out though, they cause scarlet rot. There is a rot crystal sword in here in this chest, so if you don't want to die, don't bother with it. But essentially just gotta keep going, walking forward until you find yourself in a lake of rot sort of looking area. You'll be familiar with this area, this sort of area. We've encountered it before. But to traverse it, you are going to need a dagger or something that has quick step or something that makes you L2, press L2 or left trigger to activate a quick step move. So I'm going to be using the dagger here. You'll still get Scarlet Rotted, but you know, it's going to help. So you don't just have to roll and stuff like that. Essentially, you just gotta walk this entire Scarlet Rot area until you find yourself at a new site of grace. This is the final site of grace for this essentially Millicent questline. After you've sat at the site of grace, make sure you return here outside where the Scarlet Rock Lake was, and you'll have to kill the Ulcerated tree spirit. This is a difficult fight as it takes place in a rot lake. So yeah, you have to do this in order to progress. Reset the area or restart the game and you'll find 2 summon signs. Now you can choose to help Millicent in killing her sisters, or you can assist her sisters to kill Millicent. You will be rewarded 2 different things. These are the rewards on screen.
Oh. Hello. Thank you for lending your hand. Without your help, I could not have defeated that quartet. I feel as if I've been in your debt from beginning to end. Thank you. With your help, I was able to live as my own person, if only in passing. But this is where things end. I paused to even tell you, but I took out the needle myself. Tell whoever put you up to this that if I am to flower into something other than myself, I would rather rot into nothingness as I am. Please, let me pass alone. The scarlet rot writhes now, worse than ever. Soon, I won't be more than a mound of flesh, curse-laden, untouchable. I wouldn't want such a thing to bring you harm. Please, the scarlet soon, curse-laden. I wouldn't want... Please, let me... The scarlet rot soon, curse-laden. I wouldn't want such...
After exhausting her dialogue, you can loot her corpse and acquire unalloyed gold needle. After all of that, you can proceed through the area from the last site of grace that you encountered, go down the branches and into this building and reach Malenia's boss fight. Sit down at the site of grace and enter the fog wall and fight Malenia.
The mark of a true lord.
After you kill Malenia, you'll be able to use the needle on the Scarlet Rot bloom, I guess you could call it, and acquire your rewards. That is the end of this questline. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Oh, I almost forgot. You can actually return to Gowry's shack and talk to him for some additional dialogue. You may as well kill him after you exhaust his dialogue because he won't be able to sell you stuff anymore. And you can kill him to acquire his bell bearing and buy stuff. Thanks for watching.
Oh, Millicent, my daughter. Why would you take out the needle? You were so close, so very close to becoming the fairest of all flowers. Would you disown us, too, as your mother did? We children of the Scarlet Rot. Millicent,